Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Miss Michelle. This week I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin pie. So this is an old family recipe from my great-great-grandmother, and it's very delicious. So my family's been making this recipe for generations, and it makes two pies. So either be prepared, or if you want to split the recipe in half, you could do that if you just want one pie. But after you taste it, you'll probably want a second pie. So for this recipe, you will need some fresh pumpkin puree, about 4 cups, or 1 large can of pumpkin puree from the store. And you can check out my other video about how to roast a pumpkin and make your own pumpkin puree. I also have a video showing how to make homemade pie crust, so you're going to need 2 of these, or you can use pre-made pie crust if you're not feeling adventurous, although they are pretty easy to make and only take a few ingredients. You're going to need some milk, cinnamon, cloves, and ginger, a teaspoon of salt, some molasses, 4 eggs, and a cup of regular sugar and a cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to start with my pumpkin puree, and I'm going to need 4 cups. It looks like I'm a little short, but that's okay because I actually need 3 ounces less than 4 cups, so this should actually be perfect. I usually just round up to 4 cups. So, good thing I had just the right amount. And then I'm going to add a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar. And then I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of molasses. And then I'm going to need 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. 3 teaspoons makes 1 tablespoon, but I already got all my tablespoons dirty and these fit in the jar better, so I'll just do that. And then I'm also going to need 3 tablespoons of ground ginger. Did I say 3 tablespoons? I'm only going to need 3 teaspoons. Don't put 3 tablespoons in, that probably wouldn't be very good. So 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon, same as the cinnamon. And then for my cloves, these are very strong, so I'm only going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of these. And then I'm going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to mix all my ingredients together. Okay, and then I'm going to need to add 4 eggs. And I want to beat them a little bit before I add them. So I'm just going to crack these into a separate bowl, and then I can use a fork to just, or a whisk if you prefer, to just mix them up a little bit. And then I'll stir those in. Okay, and then I'm going to need 2 cups of scalded milk. So I'm just gonna measure my 2 cups. And then I'm just gonna take this over to the stove to scald it. So what I'm gonna do is pour it into a little saucepan. And I'm just going to heat it over medium heat. And I just want it to heat up, and as soon as I see some bubbles on the side, I'll know it's ready. So I want to keep a very close eye on it, and it won't take me very long. and I just realized I didn't preheat my oven, so I'm gonna heat it to 450. And luckily my oven heats up pretty quick, so it should be ready by the time I need it. Okay, so as soon as I start to see these little bubbles on the side here, they're very subtle, but that means my milk is scalded. It's gonna stick to the edge a little bit. And I can take this off, and I'll take it back over and add it to my pie filling. So I'll mix this together. It's pretty liquidy, but the egg and milk is gonna make a custard when it bakes. So it will definitely work. I've made this recipe lots of times, so I know it's good. And it should be liquidy, even though it seems like it might not thicken up enough. It will. So I'm just gonna grab my pie crusts and I want to be careful not to spill this, so I'm just gonna scoop it into each crust. Okay, and I have a little bit extra. My disposable pie crust is a little bit too small. Or my pan, I don't know what happened to my other pie pan, but if you use 2 regular pie pans, you should have the perfect amount. So you could either just toss this or bake it in a greased ramekin if you don't want to waste it. So my oven is almost ready, so as soon as it heats up to 450, I'll pop these in the oven. Okay, so my oven is at 450, so I'm going to very carefully put these in because they could spill, and this disposable pie plate is very risky here. It's very bendy. Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to come turn the temperature down. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna turn my temperature down to 300 degrees. And then I'm going to bake my pies for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I might just want to come check on them in a while and make sure the crust isn't burning. I didn't put any foil on it to protect it, but I didn't want to mess with it with how liquidy and full they were. So hopefully they'll be okay, but in about maybe 40 minutes I'll come check on them. Okay, so my pies have been cooking away. I checked the crust and it looked good. So it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes at 300. And I'm just gonna pull these out. And I'm gonna let them sit. And they're still very hot, so they'll keep cooking a little bit and set up. And a lot of people like to enjoy these cold with some either fresh whipped cream, or you could put some ice cream on there, or they're good by themselves. So thanks for watching my video and happy pie making.